Hi sewing friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary and today I want to invite you to sew a new dress with me. It's my brand new sewing pattern called Daisy Drop Waist Dress, which just dropped on my Etsy shop today. This pattern features a drop waist, puffy sleeves, and a heart-shaped neckline with ties. If you want to buy the pattern, you can find the link in the description box down below. And the pattern comes in A0 and A4 format and with a sewing booklet. This sewing booklet contains a lot of information about fabrics, measurements, printing instructions, assembling the pattern, and of course sewing instructions with illustrations. So if you want to continue sewing this dress with me, then keep on watching this video. So let's talk about what do you need to make this dress. This is the main fabric that I'm using. It's a viscose. So you can do this with a viscose, you can use also cotton, you can use linen. You will find the fabric suggestions in the sewing instructions. You will need also a fabric for the lining parts, which you can either use the same fabric, you can either use the same fabric as the main fabric, or you can choose another suitable fabric for the lining like cotton, viscose. It should be a lightweight fabric for the lining. You will need also an invisible zipper and a narrow elastic. Mine is 7mm wide. So after cutting all your panels from the pattern, start by taking the center back panel and right here at this seam you have to place a strip of fusible interfacing, and we do this because we don't want this seam to stretch, so this will help, and place it on the wrong side on both panels. And now place all the bodice panels, the front and the back, right sides together and match your notches. And pin them in place. And now stitch all the seams in place, and you'll have to repeat this step for the lining panels as well. Now press all the seams open. And now let's stitch the shoulder seams. Place them right sides and stitch here. Now let's make the ties for the front. So take your ties and fold them in half and stitch. And now let's turn them on the right side. Now take your ties, and I'm placing my first one at about 2 centimeters from the edge. You'll have to also leave 1 centimeter here for the seam allowance. And the second one, I will place it at about 5 centimeters from the first one. So it should be here, right at this edge. And I will pin them in place and place on the other side at the same distance. And now I will quickly stitch this in place so they can be secured. Take the skirt panels, the front and the back, place them right sides and stitch at the side seams. If you want to insert inseam pockets, now is the time to do it. So stitch here and also finish the raw edges. So now at the top, sew 2 rows of loose stitches all the way around to be able to gather this to match the bodice. Don't forget to also press the seams towards the back panel. Now take the bodice on the main fabric and the skirt panel, but first you'll have to gather the skirt panel to match the bottom of the bodice. I will do that now. I will gather this and match my bottom of the bodice. So I finished pinning it and now let's stitch. You don't need to finish the raw edges because this will be covered by the lining of the bodice. So here it is, press the seam towards the bodice. And now it's time to insert the invisible zipper. So let's finish the center back seam with a serger or a zigzag stitch. From the top edge, measure 1 centimeter and place your zipper and measure it, and now mark on your zipper where to stop your stitches. So I will stop around here and I will also make a mark on my fabric, and now I will measure up from my mark 2 centimeters, and now I will stitch from my upper mark all the way down to the bottom of the dress so I can finish my center back seam. And now take the zipper, place it right sides to right sides, only to one seam, leaving 1 centimeter seam allowance at the top. Align the zipper edge with the center back seam. So pin it in place until you reach your marking. So this will be stitched to the seam allowance only. And stitch with a basting stitch here using your normal zipper foot. And now close the zipper. And mark this seam here on the other side of the zipper. And now match your other side seam with this mark. And pin also this in place. And now stitch also on this side of the zipper. And now switch to your invisible zipper. And stitch with the invisible zipper. And the zipper pull is here between this gap that we formed. So you'll start with the stitching with the invisible zipper foot right here, where you've closed the center back seam. And now let's repeat on this other side. So now let's prepare the sleeves. So take the main fabric panel and the other panel that is on the main fabric or on the lining fabric. Place them right sides and you'll have to stitch with 1.5 centimeters at the bottom edge. Make sure you've cut the lining panel shorter with 1.5 centimeters than the main fabric. So I've placed my seam allowance towards the lining panel, and now stitch with 1 centimeter away from the stitch. Now stitch with 1 centimeter, and now stitch the seam allowance to the lining panel, like so. So here's how it should look. And this way we have created a channel to insert the elastic. So measure the elastic around your arm, and now let's insert the elastic in the channel. So now secure the elastic with pins at both ends, and now place the sleeve right sides and stitch on the side seam. So stitch on the side seam. And now bring them together, and I will quickly stitch this in place. Between the notches of the sleeve, stitch 2 rows of stitches so we can gather the head of the sleeve. Now it's time to stitch the bodice to the main fabric. So place them right sides. Start at the back, place over the zipper, and pin this in place, matching your seams, shoulder seams, and all the way over the straps, and go all the way until you reach the back. And now stitch. Now understitch the seam allowance on the lining side. So this is how it should look like, the understitching. And now fold the lining part over the zipper. Like so. And you'll have to fold it from the top. You can trim if you have excess from the zipper. So fold this edge over, like so, with the zipper, and place it over the zipper and pin it in place. Here, when you reach your bottom seam, this is where the lining stops. You'll have to fold 1 centimeter on the lining, because this folded edge here will cover the raw seam of the bodice on the wrong side, like so. So stitch this and repeat on the other side. You may want to use a normal zipper foot for this step. Now let's cover this raw edge with the lining part. So you'll have to fold your lining bottom so it should cover the raw edge, and I will pin this in place, and I will go all the way and pin this in place on the wrong side. So I've pinned my bodice on the wrong side, and now I will simply move the pins on the right side, like so, making sure that I also catch this on the wrong side, because we need to stitch right on the gap between the stitches, so the stitch will be invisible. And that's why we are moving this to the right side, so we can stitch on this, and do this until you moved all the pins to the right side, and then we'll be stitching right on this fold. This is how it should look, and on the inside. And now it's time to insert the sleeves. So take your sleeves, pin them right sides, finish pinning the sleeve. Now let's stitch this in place, and also finish the edge with your serger or a zigzag stitch, and repeat on for the other sleeve as well. And now the final step is to hem the bottom part of the skirt. So I will make a double folded hem. So I will first fold this and stitch, and then fold it once again and stitch. So this is the hem. I've stitched the hem and press it, and this is how it should look. And the dress is ready. Now let's see the final result. And that's the end of this sewing video. Thank you so much if you stay with me until the end. Thank you so much also if you decided to purchase this pattern or any other of my sewing patterns. Your support means a lot to me. And if you want to also support my small channel here, hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss out any of my sewing videos. If you make this dress, tag me on Instagram using Mary the Dressmaker. It always makes me so happy to see your creations. And that's all, I think. See you next time, and until then, happy sewing!